Hola mi gente. Welcome back to Cat and Too Many Books. I'm Kat. I wanted to take advantage of the fading light and do a very quick video because I want to talk about the books that I got today. So basically, I guess this is a book haul video, a very tiny one. I actually had the pleasure to go to a book get together that Krista from Books and Jams put together. We actually ended up going to Raleigh and having some brunch and doing a book exchange, and then going to get books at Quill Ridge bookstore. And it was so much fun. I had a great time meeting a bunch of people. My best friend April came with me, which was great because we drove up from Wilmington. It's a couple hour drive. But we had a great time. We ate some brunch. We met a bunch of really nice booktube people, a few people who are creators, and a lot of subscribers, which was great. So I'm glad that Krista did that. Thank you, Krista, for putting that together. Just because, you know, she's Krista, she's amazing. I'll put her handle down at the bottom. You're gonna go check her out. She's got great content. So anyways, so we did a book exchange. So I took with me like 8 books or something that I was, you know, I'm unhauling some books. You'll see that in a video. I'm coming up. I've got my book unhaul video coming up. Once I get it all done, I will have it all, and you'll see which books I actually took to the book exchange. And quite a few of them went, and anything that was left over was going to be put in like a little free library and things like that. So that's going to be great. Anyways, so let me talk about the 3 books that I got in the book exchange. Just sort of put on the table, and then we went around and like picked as many books as we wanted to pick. And then if we were done with picking them, then you were done. So I actually got 3 books in the exchange. So let me talk about the 3 books that I got. The first one I picked up was City Spies by James Pointy, I believe is how you say the name. Now this one is a middle grade, so I picked it up for my 5th grade class, of course. And it says Sarah Martinez is a hacker. She recently broke into the New York City foster care system to expose her foster parents as cheats and lawbreakers. However, instead of being hailed as a hero, Sarah finds herself facing years in juvenile detention. All right, did I fix that? I'm a little bit crooked, guys. Hold on. What is happening here? Oh my goodness. I just didn't realize that. Have I been crooked this whole time? Sorry if I was crooked that whole time. That should... What is happening? That's better. Okay. Let me do that again because I was a bit crooked. I was talking about how, okay, Sarah finds herself facing years in juvenile detention and even worse, banned from using computers. And her mother, a British spy who offers her a way out of her current problem and the chance to make a home for herself with a top secret M16 or MI6 agency. Operating out of a base in Scotland, the City Spies are 5 kids from various parts of the world. When not attending the local boarding school, they're honing their unique skills such as sleight of hand, breaking and entering, observation, and explosives. Jumping right into the action, Sarah soon finds herself taking her computer savvy to Paris for an international youth summit, hacking into a rival school's computer to prevent them from winning €1 million, dangling 30 feet off the side of a building, and trying to stop a villain, all while navigating the complex dynamics of her new family. No one said saving the world was going to be easy. So that sounds cute. So I'll definitely read it, give it a go, see if I'll put it into my kids' my library at school. So my next book that I picked up at the book exchange was The Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. This is actually an arc. So yeah, I don't think it's got a synopsis about it. No, because it's an arc, so it probably doesn't have a synopsis, but oh my gosh, sorry. Gosh. It's just sliding. Okay, I think I'm not crooked anymore. What is going on with this thing? So I don't actually have a synopsis for this, and I don't think I have... Oh, wait. On my computer. I'm going to look it up on Goodreads and find out what this is about. Bear with. Okay, I found it on Goodreads, and it says, just after the Second World War, in the small English village of Chawton, an unusual but like-minded group of people band together to attempt something remarkable. 150 years ago, Chowden was the final home of Jane Austen, one of England's finest novelists. Now it's home to a few distant relatives and their diminishing estate. With the last bit of Austen's legacy threatened, a group of desperate individuals come together to preserve both Jane Austen's home and her legacy. These people, a laborer, a young widow, the local doctor, and a movie star, among others, could not be more different, and yet they are united in their love for the works and words of Austen. As each of them endures their own quiet struggle with loss and trauma, some from the recent war, others from more distant tragedies, they rally together to create the Jane Austen Society. So, that sounds really cute, I guess. It says it's historical fiction, a bit of a romance. So that might be fun for me to read. Kind of a fun little palette cleanser. These are kind of palette cleansers for me, I guess. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that was one of the ones I picked up. The last one I got from the book exchange today was Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I really enjoyed Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney, which I read quite a while back, and I've been kind of meaning to maybe pick up another one of hers. This is really pretty too, this cover. And then this one, it says, usually Alice Feeney has domestic thrillers, I think, a lot of the time. So this one says, author Grady Green is having the worst best day of his life. He calls his wife Abby to share some exciting news as she's driving home. He hears Abby slam on the brakes when she sees something in the road ahead. Over Grady's protest, Abby gets out of the car. When he eventually finds her car by the cliff edge, the headlights are on, the driver's door is open, her phone is still there, but his wife has disappeared. A year later, Grady is still overcome with grief and desperate to know what happened to Abby. He can't sleep and he can't write, so he travels to a tiny remote Scottish island to try to get his life back on track. And then he sees the impossible, a woman who looks exactly like his missing wife. So, again, like a domestic thriller, which is kind of what Alice Feeney does, I'll be glad to give it a chance. So, I like the vibes of this. Scottish Island, missing people, mysteries, all good. Okay, so that was all that I had from the book exchange. But then, like I said, we went to Quill Ridge Books afterwards, all of us together, and like hung out and looked at books and got books. So I'm going to talk about what I purchased there. I purchased a bunch of different things. So I'll leave the books for last that I purchased. But I'll show you some of the other things I purchased. So I got like these kind of cool, like, little, put them in like a picture frame and obviously put them up. It's kind of what I'm planning to do with it. And you know, I got 3 different ones. One for a friend of mine, one for my classroom. I love this one. I am a product of endless books. And then one for my reading room here. I think I'll put it right behind me probably. I love this one. In the happiest times of my life, I've reached for my books. In the saddest times of my life, my books have reached back. I think this is beautiful. So I got all these there. It was lovely. They were lovely. They are lovely. So I'm going to hang them up, of course, one of them, and then the rest giftings and so on and so forth. I also got myself a really cute bookmark. I love getting bookmarks. I can never have too many. And this one says, reading is so mush fun. It's got little mushrooms on it. It's cute. I think it's adorable. I also got a couple of different socks for some friends for Christmas. I love giving people, this is like stocking stuffers. I love giving people socks for Christmas. So I got all that at the bookstore. And then I've got 3 books. So I did a blind date with a book. They had like a whole blind date with a book like shelf. So I got myself one. And I just did a really quick short. If you want to go see it, it's in my shorts in this channel. Opening which one it is. Obviously, if you're seeing this, you don't need to because you're going to know what it is. And I opened up the book just to kind of like have an unpackaging, I guess it would be. And so I actually ended up having gotten A Most Agreeable Murder by Julia Seals. Now, I already read this book. I read this book last year, I think it was. I got it from the library, so I don't own it. But I really enjoyed it. I had a great time, and I'd been thinking about purchasing it because it's this the second in the series. I didn't know that it was going to have a second book. The second in the series just came out, so I was thinking I could get it. So, you see it right there. It's so cute. Yeah, and it's just like the blind book said, you know, Sherlock Holmes meets like Jane Austen and like puzzles and secret messages and like werewolves. All true. There's a bit of a supernatural sort of aspect to this book that I found really funny. And my favorite thing about this book, it has these book notes, these footnotes. So you're reading and there's like footnotes. Let me see if I can find any. Oh, here, I think I just passed one. No, did I? Yeah. So you see, it has like little footnotes at the bottom. It has a lot of the, oops. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, see, it's got little footnotes and stuff. I love that. It was so much fun to read all the little footnotes and stuff. It was really funny. It was very amusing. I enjoyed it. It was, I don't know, I had a good time with it. So I'm glad that I got this now and I can put it in my shelves. I've already read it and I'm looking forward to picking up the second book. The next thing that I bought was one that I have been trying to buy for ages and ages. I don't own it yet. And it is actually Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher, which I've been wanting to get for ages. I love this cover so much. Like, this cover is gorgeous. Yes, and I remember the front cover is also beautiful. The binding itself is so pretty. I like the end pages. It's just, I love this. I know it's very busy, but I think it works for it. And I love picking up all T. Kingfisher books. I like her horror and I like her fantasy. And her retellings are my favorite, though. And I think this is a retelling, if I remember correctly. It says, Hala has unexpectedly inherited the estate of a wealthy uncle. Unfortunately, she's also saddled with money-hungry relatives full of devious plans for how to wrest the inheritance away from her. While locked in her bedroom, Hala inspects the ancient sword that's been collecting dust on the wall since before she moved in. Out of desperation, she unsheathes it, and suddenly a man appears. His name is Sarkis, he tells her, and he is an immortal warrior trapped in a prison of enchanted steel. Sarkis is sworn to protect whoever wields the sword, and for Hala, a most unusual wielder, he finds himself not fending off grand armies and deadly assassins, but instead everything from kindly seeming bandits to roving inquisitors to her own in-laws. But as Hala and Sarkis grow closer, they overlook the biggest threat of all, the sword itself. So in the back says, Sarkis knew that the kiss was a mistake the moment he did it. He kept doing it anyway, at first because stopping a kiss so quickly offended his sense of craftsmanship, and then because it felt too good to stop. So it's like a romantasy, maybe? I don't know. It is a retelling of something. I feel like that's true. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I love T. Kingfisher, so I love it. So love that I was able to get this one. And finally, the last book that I picked up, I actually had been thinking about getting this book for a while, and I saw it there and just was like, let me just get it now. And that was Agatha Christie, An Elusive Woman by Lucy Worsley. I think I love the way Lucy Worsley writes about history and historical people. I've read a couple of her books, one specifically about like the history of like the home, like how like homes have changed over time. And earlier this year I read her Jane Austen book, Jane Austen at Home. I think that was Lucy Worsley, wasn't it? Yes, I was right. I wanted to double check. So Lucy Worsley wrote a book I just read at the beginning of this year, which was the Jane Austen at Home book, which was this fantastic sort of biography about all the different places Jane Austen lived and just talked about what was happening in her life at the time, what the places were like her family around her and so on and so forth. Really, really interesting. I read that in January, I think. So I saw this and wanted to pick it up. I think the British title is Agatha Christie, A Very Elusive Woman, but I don't know why it's changed to An Elusive Woman. No idea. I think it's the same one. I would think so. Maybe they just changed the title for American people. Maybe there's another book here. They do that sometimes. So maybe they changed for America. But anyway, yep. Very excited to read this. I love Lucy Worsley's writing. And I'm super intrigued about Agatha Christie because she was a very interesting woman. Okay, that's it. Those are all the books that I purchased and or got at the book exchange. Thank you for hanging out with me. As always, guys, if you want to help the channel, you can like, subscribe, comment, and then you can, of course, if you don't want to comment, you can just leave like a little book icon emoji there, letting me know you were here, because that does help the channel as well. Of course, you can let me know if you've read any of these books and you liked any of them, if you want to read any of these books, which ones you might be looking forward to, what do you recommend? And I will hopefully talk to you guys really soon in another video. Bye!